Hello everyone, myself Assistant Professor Partha Mistry from Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari. Today I deliver a video lecture on our first chapter, that is network theorems, from our subject electrical circuit analysis, having the subject code of 3130906, semester 3rd, year 2nd, electrical engineering department, and our topic name is maximum power transfer theorem. So today in this video lecture we briefly know about the maximum power transfer theorem. Here is the flow of content of our video. First, we discuss introduction to maximum power transfer theorem, then condition with DC circuits, then condition with AC circuits, then we go for the statement of maximum power transfer theorem. Then after, we discuss practically the example number 1 and then example number 2. And finally, we see the GTU questions which will be repeatedly asked in your GTU exam. So first of all, we introduce the maximum power transfer theorem. However, in power system, maximum power transfer is never tried as huge amount of power in terms of megawatt is transferred from source to the load, and efficiency of power transfer is only 50%, which will be seen shortly in later slide. If power transfer based on a maximum power transfer criterion. So in power system, the power generated from the power plant and transmitted to the transmission system from source to load. So if maximum power transfer criterion keep in mind, so we get the efficiency only 50% in such cases. So we should know the which amount of power is transferred from source to load. Also under this condition, the terminal voltage becomes half of the source voltage, and hence this results in poor voltage regulation. Therefore, maximum power transfer criterion is never considered in a power system. So in power system there is a such kind of loss because there is no maximum power will be transferred, because such kind of losses are to be considered during the transmission and during the distribution system. So in transmission system the maximum power is not considered. This theorem is particularly useful for the analyzing communication networks where the goal is transfer of maximum power from source to the load and not to the highest efficiency. So in communication networks, this theorem is more applicable because the goal is transfer of maximum power from source to load and not to the highest efficiency, because highest efficiency is not as a considering parameter. We will consider the theorem for DC circuits and AC circuits separately. First we discuss DC circuits, then we discuss the configuration with AC circuits. Here the DC circuit is given. Any network can be replaced into a single voltage source in series with a resistance. So a single voltage source E is given over here. In series, one resistance is given, or we can say source resistance between network terminal A and B, and across it a variable load RL is connected. So any network can be replaced into a single voltage source in series with a resistance, or we can say impedance Z. The maximum power transfer theorem aims at finding R such that the power dissipated in it is maximum. So our aim is to find out the power which will be delivered to the variable load over here, that is RL. Now the problem is, what should be the value of RL expressed in terms of RS, that is source resistance, so that the power delivered to the load resistance is maximum. So our target is to find the value of RL, that is load resistance, which will express in terms of source resistance, that is Rs, which will be connected with series into the source. So the whatever the amount of source Rs is expressed in terms of RL. So we have to find the value of RL in this case. So if we consider the figure, the current in the circuit I equals to what is the value of total voltage, that is E divided by Rs plus RL. So current in the circuit, if we consider over here, so I equals to E upon Rs plus RL, simply Ohm's law, because this is the DC circuit. So we can easily apply the Ohm's law. So the power transfer P equals to I square R. So P equals to I square into RL. So we find the value of I, that is E upon Rs plus RL. So putting over here the square of I square into RL. So by simplifying we get the value of P, that is square RL divided by Rs plus RL whole square. But for this power to be maximum, we have the value of actual power P. But for this power to be maximum, we apply the condition with respect to load current RL. So we take the differentiation of this step. So we take the differentiation of power, so with respect to RL. So dP divided by dRL equals to 0. We take over here, we can clearly see that. So entire equation now will be changed. So what will be happen over here? So we can easily see that the equation apply for the differentiation with respect to RL for P. So denominator here Rs plus RL square. So the square of denominator as per the differentiation formula. So Rs plus RL whole raised to 4. Then what happened in numerator? So the denominator step in first step remains same. Multiply by differentiation of numerator, that is square RL. So apart from square RL, square will be come to the outside because it is constant, and we have only differentiate the RL with respect to d by dRL. So RL will be cancelled and just only 1 will be remain over here, minus RL now remains same over here because square will be common, and the differentiation of denominator, so put over here. So the differentiation of Rs plus RL whole square, that is 2 comes to the outside, multiply by Rs plus RL bracket over the main bracket over, which is equals to 0. So this is all about the differentiation equation. So again we simplify this step. So Rs plus RL whole raised to 4, which goes to this side, so it is 0 because it will be multiplied with 0, and square also goes to the this side, so it is also become 0. So we have remain only this step, only numerator. So numerator will be right like this, that is Rs plus RL whole square minus twice RL in bracket Rs plus RL bracket over, which is equals to 0. By simplifying we get the value of RL, which is equals to Rs. This shows that for maximum power transfer to the load resistance RL should be equal to the internal source resistance Rs of the source. So under this condition, P maximum, which is equals to square RL divided by Rs plus RL whole square, which is equals to square by 4 into Rs, because RL equals to Rs we put over here. So we get the 4 Rs and RL remains the same. As Rs equals to RL, same power dissipated in the internal resistance, and hence efficiency is 50%. So we can see that the source resistance equals to load resistance. So both are the same value. So the power dissipation in internal resistance and hence efficiency is 50%. We can get only 50% output. Voltage across the load is E by 2. Half of the energy we get on the load side, because both the resistance are same. Voltage regulation is 50%, which is very very poor. Hence this theorem is not applied or not considered for the DC circuit. So this question is repeatedly asked in G2 exam, that why we are not prefer maximum power transfer theorem for DC circuit. So we have to derive all these things for 7 marks. Now for the AC circuit. Consider the network shown in the figure, that the ES is generated voltage of the source. The source is connected to the load impedance, that is Z. So over here ZL we can see that which is variable. R represent the internal resistance of the source, that is RS, we know over here. Similarly X represent the reactance of the source, that is J into XS. Our aim is to find a condition such that the average power transfer from source to load is maximum. Our target is whatever the amount of power transfer from source to load. So we have find the value of actual power which is comes to the load. Either it will be maximum or not. To accomplish this objective, we consider the following cases. So now we consider the 4 cases for AC circuit. So apart from first case is here, ZL is variable resistance RL. If ZL is a variable resistance RL, the value of ZL is RL. Suppose RL, and RS and JXS is placed over here. So in this condition, what is the value of RL in terms of source resistance? Because our target is to establish a relation between uh, load resistance with respect to source resistance. So with the load impedance, the statement is that with the load impedance consisting of a variable pure resistance, the maximum power is delivered across the terminals of active network if the load resistance is made equal to the absolute value of active network impedance or the source impedance. Means in this case the power is maximum if the value of RL is equal to the source impedance ZS. It is the combination of RS plus JXS. If this kind of figure is given, so in this case the value of load resistance RL equals to ZS, which is RS plus JXS. So if in exam this kind of configuration is given, so you should follow the value of RL, that is equals to more ZS. Point number B, or this second configuration, that is ZL is complex impedance with variable resistance and variable reactance. So ZL is combination of resistance and reactance. Both are variable, RL and JXL. So ZL equals to, we can write that RL plus JXL, and source will be remain same as per the first case. So statement is that with the load impedance consisting of variable resistance, that is RL, and variable sorry and variable reactance, the maximum power transfer across the terminals of active network occurs when the load impedance Z is equal to the complex conjugate of the source impedance ZS or the active network impedance. If such kind of figure is given, that what is the value of ZL? ZL equals to RL plus JXL, or we can write that complex conjugate of source impedance ZS. So for the complex conjugate in terms of RS, so RL plus JXL, which is equals to RS minus JXS. Here the complex conjugate, that means the notation, that is star. So due to that star, the imaginary term is minus over here. So we have to write the relation of ZL with respect to source impedance. So ZL equals to RS minus JXS, or we can write that ZS star. Star tends to negative sign for the imaginary term. So this term is called as a complex conjugate term. So if such kind of criterion is given in the example, so we follow the value of ZL, that is ZS star, or we can say RS minus JXS. This is the configuration. C. ZL is complex with variable resistance and fixed resistance. So in this case, the RL is variable and XL is fixed for ZL. So what is the statement for that? Since ZS and XL are both fixed, they could be combined into a single impedance. Then with RL variable, case C is reduced to the case A. So over here, what is written in statement, that since ZS and XL both are fixed, ZS and XL, so both are fixed, so they could be combined into a single impedance. So this term and this term is combined into a single impedance, and RL is variable. RL is variable is nothing but our first case, that is case 1. So case C is reduced to case A, and the maximum power result when RL is equal to the absolute value of the network impedance. So if this kind of structure is given, then RL write as equals to mod ZS plus JXL. So this is about case C. In this case, RL is, which is equals to mod of ZS plus JXL. Now the case D, ZL is complex with fixed resistance and variable reactance. So in the previous case, RL is variable and XL is fixed. So in this case, RL is fixed and XL is variable. So statement is that with the load impedance consisting of fixed resistance and variable reactance, maximum power transfer across the terminals of the active network occurs when the reactance of the load impedance ZL is equal to the reactance of the source impedance ZS, but opposite in nature. So opposite in nature means sign is negative, so we can write the XL, which is equals to minus XS. So if this kind of configuration is given in your example, so you should follow this criteria for AC circuit. So in DC circuit, what is the condition for maximum power? So source resistance equals to load resistance, RL equals to RTH. And in AC circuit, 4 configuration we discuss. So as per the requirement, we apply the all these conditions if the question is asked in different manner. So let us discuss the example number 1. The question is that for the network shown in following figure, determine the value of RL for maximum power transfer. What will be the value of power transfer under this condition? So first of all, this question is asked in your GTO December 2009 for 7 marks. So first of all, see that this is the DC case or AC case. So here the DC source is given 10 volt. So it will be delivered to the load, that is variable RL. So in DC, we have only one condition for maximum power to be transferred, it is RL equals to RTH. So RL equals to RTH. First of all, these configurations we should remember in our mind. So what is our first step? Disconnect the RL from the network. So we have to remove the RL from the network and develop the figure number 2 and apply the Kirchhoff voltage law to the loop 1 and loop 2. Consider I1 for loop 1 and I2 for loop 2. So the equation will be like that, that is 10 I1 plus 15 I1 minus I2 minus 10, which is equals to 0. So by simplifying we get the value of 25 I1 minus 15 I2, which is equals to 10. 10 goes to right hand side, so it will be positive. Equation number 1. Similarly in loop 2, 15 in bracket I2 minus I1, because majority current in loop 2 is I2, so 15 bracket I2 minus I1 plus 20 I2 plus 5 I2, which is equals to 0. So by simplifying we get the value of minus 15 I2, 15 I1 plus 40 I2, which is equals to 0. Equation number 2. So equation 1 and 2 will be right in matrix form. So 25 minus 15 minus 15 40 I1 I2, which is equals to 10 0. So by simplifying we get the value of delta, that is 1000 minus 25. So delta is 775 by cross multiplication. So I2 will be 25 minus 15 10 0 divided by delta, that is 150 divided by 775, 0.1935 ampere. So we get the value of I2, that is 0.1935 ampere. So what is the VTH, or we can say open circuit voltage, or we can say Thevenin voltage? So VTH is nothing but the voltage drop across 5 ohm resistor. So VTH is, so in this figure we see that VTH is, or we can say open circuit voltage is voltage across the 5 ohm resistor, because in parallel the voltage will be same. So the VTH equals to voltage across 5 ohm resistor. So VTH equals to 5 multiplied by I2. So 5 multiplied by 0.1935. So VTH equals to 0.9675 volt. So our step number 2 is to determine the value of RTH. So short circuit the voltage source and draw the network as shown in the figure. So we short the voltage source over here, and from load side we see that the value of RTH, so the RTH equals to 10 plus 5 in parallel with 20 plus parallel combination of 10 and 15. So we can get the value of RTH by combining all these resistance according to series and parallel combination. So in step number 2 we get the value of RTH, that is 10 plus 5 parallel to 20 plus 10 multiplied by 15 divided by 10 plus 15. So by simplifying we get the value of RTH, that is 10 plus 5 parallel 26. 10 plus 26 multiplied by 5 divided by 26 plus 5. So the value of RTH equals to 10 plus 40194. So the RTH will be 140194 ohm. Now we have the value of VTH and RTH. So draw the Thevenin's equivalent network across the terminals AB and connect RL across the AB terminals. So we get the figure like this. So now applying maximum power transfer theorem, RL equals to RTH, as we discussed earlier for the DC circuit, the condition is RL plus RTH. So the RL equals to 14.194 ohm. So from the above figure, value of I equals to VTH upon RTH plus RL. So 0.9675 divided by 14.194 plus 14.194, because value of RTH equals to RL as per this case. So I equals to 0.9675 divided by 14.194 plus 14.194, and I equals to 0.034 we get. So finally we get the value of maximum power. P maximum equals to I square RL. So 0.034 square multiplied by 14.194 watt. So P maximum equals to 16.408 megawatt. So this is our final answer for our GTO question for the maximum power transfer to the load for DC circuit, that is P maximum equals to 16.408 megawatt. Now we discuss the example number 2 with different configuration. In the network of following figure, determine the value of RL to which the maximum power can be delivered and the value of maximum power delivered to RL. So resistance is given over here, that is 20 ohm. Voltage source, one dependent source is given, current dependent voltage, that is 10I. Load RL is given and one active source is given, that is 50 volt with series of 40 ohm. So first we disconnect the load RL and the network shown in the below figure and find the Thevenin's equivalent network across the terminals AB. So between AB, VTH we have to find as per the previous case, but this is the different configuration because one dependent source is given. So open circuit voltage and short circuit current we have to find to calculate the value of ZTH, or we can say ZL, or we can say RL. First we disconnect the RL and circuit becomes like this. So from figure number 2, apply Kirchhoff voltage law in outer loop. So this is the outer loop. So we get the value of 40I plus 50 minus 2 plus, that is charging mode, so minus 10I plus 20I equals to 0. So 50I equals to minus 50 and I equals to minus 1 ampere. So we get the value of I, that is minus 1 ampere. Now the value of VTH, that is open circuit voltage. So between this terminal, the value of VTH we achieve. So VTH is nothing but the voltage across these two terminals. So VTH equals to 40I plus 50. So 40 multiplied by minus 1 I, that we have to find, plus 50. So VTH equals to 10 volt. To find RTH, we short circuit the terminals A and B as shown in figure 3 and determine the short circuit current ISC. Let I and I2 be the mesh. So why this exercise we have to done? Because one dependent source is given over here. So we have to short the terminals and we find the short circuit current. So figure becomes like this. So I1 and I2 will be noted over here, and we apply the Kirchhoff voltage law in loop 1 and loop 2. So by applying the condition in loop 1, we get the value of loop 1 equation, that is 20I1 minus 10I, which is equals to 0. So 20I, which is equals to I. So the I is nothing but the I2. So put I instead of I2, and for loop 2 the equation becomes 40I2 plus 50. So I2 becomes minus 50 by 40, that is minus 5 by 4. So put the value of I2 in I1. So we get twice I1, which is equals to I2. So twice I1 equals to minus 5 by 4. So the I1 equals to minus 5 by 8 ampere we get. So finally we get the value of I1. Now what is the short circuit current ISC? Our aim is to find the value of ISC, which is nothing but a difference of I1 and I2. I1 minus I2. So I1 we get over here, that is minus 5 by 8 ampere, minus I2 is minus 5 by 4. By simplifying we get the value of ISC, which is nothing but the 5 by 8 ampere. So we get the value of VTH, we get the value of ISC. So finally we get the value of RTH. So value of RTH equals to VTH upon ISC, 10 divided by 5 by 8, which is equals to 16 ohm. So the RTH is equals to 16 ohm. So by considering both the values and develop the Thevenin circuit, so VTH in series with RTH, and we get the Thevenin circuit with RL. Say figure number 4. Now we calculate the value of power. So using maximum power transfer theorem, the condition is RL equals to RTH equals to 16 because this is DC circuit. Under this condition, the current in The circuit is IL equals to VTH upon ZTH plus ZL. 10 divided by 16 plus 16, 10 divided by 32, and the answer is 0.3125 ampere. So P maximum equals to I square RL. So IL square multiplied by RL. So IL equals to 0.3125 square multiplied by 16. So P maximum equals to, we get the 1.5625 watt. So this is our final answer for the maximum power transfer to the load in the DC circuit. So P maximum equals to 1.5625 watt. So these are the GTO questions. So dear students, in this theorem, mostly the theory will be asked for more times. So state and explain maximum power transfer theorem with suitable example. This question is asked in GTO November 2019, June 2014 for 7 marks, and in January 2016 for 8 marks. Next question is that state and explain maximum power transfer theorem, GTU November 2017 and May 2018 for 3 marks only. And state and explain maximum power transfer theorem, derive the condition for maximum power transfer to the load for DC circuit. And this question is asked in December 2009 for 6 marks. Another question is that for the network shown in following figure, determine the value of RL for maximum power transfer. What will be the value of power transfer under this condition? This question is asked in December 2009 for 8 marks. Thank you.